Every game one for round one of the NHL playoffs is officially in the books. So we're bringing in Shayna Goldman, who's an NHL writer for The Athletic, because we want to hear her thoughts and opinions on the NHL playoffs. Shayna, thank you for joining us. I guess let's start with the East. The Bruins have been the beast in the East. I mean, the best team in hockey this season, and they've kept that momentum going in the postseason. And I know Florida isn't exactly pushovers. So do you think that Florida can adjust and tie this series up tonight in Game 2?
I think it's a tall ask. It's a tall ask for anybody in this league to stack up to the Bruins. They legitimately are the gold standard because their strength's all over the ice. But if Florida is going to do it at any time, it's while Patrice Bergeron is out, and he's still going to be out tonight, sidelined with injury. The key for Florida is going to be maintaining their discipline because they can't afford the Bruins to go on the power play. It's working on their power play. The one adjustment they're not going to make, but they probably should, is putting their 40-goal scorer Carter Verhaeghe on the first power play unit, because it does seem like that's shifting momentum when they aren't scoring there. But the big keys are just, managing at even strength. They were the better team through two periods in Game 1. The third is where you really saw the Bruins take over to manage the game and maintain their lead. So for Florida, it's limiting lateral passes back because they can't rely on goaltending to be as perfect as they were through two periods and really finishing their chances. But that's a season-wide problem for them, so it's really nothing new here.
Yeah, that Bruins team is wicked good. So let's switch on over to the West. The Minnesota Wild stunned the Dallas Stars in their Game 1. What a game that was. So do you feel like with that win, the Wild are now in the driver's seat of that series, or you think that Dallas can bounce back?
I think Dallas can bounce back. The thing is, this was such a tight series going into it. You have two teams that are so evenly matched. You have really strong goaltenders. You have the breakout star of last year in Jake Ottinger versus, the potential breakout star of this year in Philip Gustafsson. You have two elite defenses, two good penalty kills, and two really good power plays. Where the two teams really separate themselves is even strength offense, and the Stars have the clear advantage, especially with the Wild being shorthanded down the middle. Their center depth has been an issue all year, and it's only strained by Joel Eriksson being out of the lineup. So the key is to create offense at even strength and try to push through the Stars' defense. The fact that the Wild are actually ahead in this series is a really good thing for them. And now the Stars are shorthanded without Joe Pavelski. So I think that they evened up the series a lot more. And, it puts them on even footing when I think many had them as the underdog.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the most entertaining and interesting series all throughout the playoffs. And I can't wait to get your thoughts on this one. The Oilers, they fell in their Game 1 to the Kings. Edmonton's dangerous duo of Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl is arguably one of the best duos in hockey. But do you think that the Oilers rely on them too much?
Yeah, I think in years past that was definitely the case, especially when the two of them were on the same line. What works for the Oilers, especially from mid-February on, was that Leon Draisaitl, who struggled on his own at even strength initially this year, really came to his own and started driving his own line. So that gave the Oilers a 1-2 punch that anybody could want in this league. They're two of the best forwards in the league. So the fact that they're split up at even strength is a huge weapon for the Oilers, and it works against the Kings because they have two shutdown centers. So right now, if the Kings in Game 1 had shut down the Oilers the way that they had hoped with, Philip Deneau and Anze Kopitar, I think the Oilers would be having this conversation. But the fact that the Kings got their matchups and the Oilers were still much better in those minutes, it shows that they're not over-relying on them. The two are split up at even strength. If they were only producing on the power play, there would be a problem here, but that's not the case. It feels like the Oilers are the most well-rounded team that they've been throughout, I would say, Connor McDavid's entire tenure.
I love the way you broke that down. Shayna Goldman, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.